Please ignore the gruig. Gruig is Irish for hair, by the way. It doesn't know what it's doing. I don't know what it's doing. It's just doing. Today, I thought it would be hilarious for you mostly, and embarrassing for me mostly, for me to react and rate some of my old outfit photos. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we'll start with the least worst and make our way to the very worst. So our first outfit, honestly, I don't think it's that bad. I would wear something similar to this now. I think I would just do it a little better. So we have a pair of grey tweed trousers, a grey check tweed waistcoat. We have a black tie, which is kind of tying into the dark grey check of the waistcoat. But the knot on that tie is bigger than most people's futures. That thing is obnoxiously big. And I think if I look very closely, the top button of that shirt is not even closed, which means I was probably buying a shirt a size too small, so it would fit in the body and the sleeves a bit better, because I didn't like it baggy. But it meant that the top button didn't close, so I was using the tie to keep the collar closed. At least I have a jawline in this. That's disappeared over the years, but my hairline is better than it was back then. The camel coat, I've no quarrels with the camel coat. It was cheap as chips from ASOS, I think this one was from. I was obviously very much inspired by the Pitti Uomo gang with the leather gloves in the breast pocket, something I still do today. The watch, God knows what that is. It's big and it's a little obnoxious. You can also see in this, I've like rolled or like pushed the jacket sleeves up to expose a bit of short cuff, so it gives the illusion of the jacket fitting me better than it actually did. Those glasses were not prescription. I would give this like a 6 or a 7. I think it's good. I think I would execute it much better now, but it wasn't bad for back then. This photo, I think this outfit again is not that bad. I think there's just a few things that I would change. This is pre-hair transplant, and those glasses actually are prescription. So my hair in this photo is absolutely shocking. And I also should have shaved. If I knew I was going to take outfit photos that day, I should have cleaned up the facial hair. The button-down collared shirt is not bad that it's open, but it should have been starched so those collars sit nicer together. Otherwise, wear a tie. Pocket square kind of just peeking out of the pocket ties into the light blue check of the jacket and the light blue shirt. So I don't think that's too bad. They're grey woolen cashmere made to measure waistcoat and trousers. I think personally nowadays the trousers would be longer and wider. Personally, they're a navy sock and a blue shoe. I think those shoes are from a brand called Ace Makers or something like that. They sent me shoes. That's what I think I shot this content. Like, it wasn't paid or anything like that. They gifted me shoes and I went and took photos of it. The watch is a Bristol Clubmaster. Again, I think there's like a conscious attempt of this outfit. I can see what I was like thinking of with the blue check, the blue pocket square, the blue shirt, and then the grey kind of foundation of the two-piece, and then just like real simple accessories of the shoes and watch and the glasses or whatever. But I just think overall the outfit just lacks it. I think what it lacks is like structure. It lacks that like finishing touches. It looks undone. And I think it's because I'm not wearing a tie. I think with a waistcoat, you need to be wearing a tie. I think ditching the tie on a three-piece, you need to really lean into the kind of rugged Johnny Depp kind of vibes. I'll insert a photo of me wearing a polo t-shirt under a waistcoat here versus this one, even though I'm wearing the suit jacket as well. The suit jacket, only gives more of a reason why I should be wearing a necktie with this. It's essentially a three-piece, so I should have went all the way with the formality and not try to dress it down with a button-down collar that's open. Now what it probably was, my neck tattoo, the mountain range and the trees, that was probably fairly fresh. This was probably in and around the time that I got that tattoo, and I wanted to show it off. I can guarantee you that's what the thought process was there. The next one, we have the same grey foundation, the same grey waistcoat, the same grey trousers. I do believe I am wearing the full three-piece in this. You just can't see the jacket because it's under the coat. And this is the same camel coat and glove in pocket combo as the first photo. When I posted this photo, this was like reshared onto all those like men's inspiration pages way back in the day. And I think, again, it's not bad. It's probably a product of its time and a product of my time, but like I would never put this combination together now. And it's not like about the colors. Again, it's like the final like detail touches, like the monogram on the cuff, so much cuff being shown, a stack of beaded bracelets on the wrist, like very 2012 menswear guy. Cutaway club collar. I think a club collar should be like more like narrow and emphasize the roundness of the club collar. It should almost give the illusion that it's detached versus like a cutaway collar that just kind of has rounded edges and not points. Overall, I don't think it's actually that bad. That hat shape I would never wear now in a million years. One, it looks cheap, but the actual shape and volume of the hat looks like really tall versus like giving volume wide the way like a Baker Boy hat should be. I'll give this one like, again, like a 6 out of 10. So next up we have, again, you can kind of see what my personal taste was back then, which is very much like three pieces and separating them. And again, I'm ditching the tie with the three piece here, which I think I probably should have worn a tie with this for the same reason I just gave the last one, like just for that level of kind of formality. But I think I get away with it a little bit more in this one because the waistcoat is cut higher. The single breasted waistcoat versus a double breasted one. I distinctly remember styling this outfit and taking this photo, and it was heavily inspired by my now friend Roberto, or if you know him on Instagram, it's Moraro. I'll put his Instagram on here. And he was one of my menswear idols, and I'm so lucky and privileged to be in a position now where a lot of these gentlemen that I once looked up to and was so heavily inspired by, I now call my friends. And it just goes to show you how far you can actually come in this world. This outfit, you know, overall isn't that bad. I think the pose and the lighting and the location kind of lend to the outfit a little bit more. It's a better photo than it is an outfit, if that makes sense. So if I want to be really critical, the trousers are too skinny. I'm wearing boots in this, and the hem of the trousers is sitting very close to the top lace of that boot. So the trousers are too slim and too short. The waistcoat is too big and too long. You can see, even though I'm kind of leaning and slouched, which is affecting that, but you can really see the length of the waistcoat is really throwing off the proportions. It makes my legs look really short and my torso look really long, when that should be flipped. The leg should be elongated and the torso should look kind of short and big. The waistcoat is also slightly too big. You can see it kind of bellow in and around the chest here. The jacket, like, I'm pretty sure every piece of this is like pretty cheap, apart from the hat and the boots. The boots were also from Ace Makers or whatever, like that previous brand I mentioned. The suit's from Primark. So that waistcoat and those trousers would have cost maybe 40 euros. And that jacket maybe 40 euros. So overall, and the shirt I think was maybe 8 euros. I'm pretty sure that's all from Primark or Pennies if you're in Ireland. So that entire outfit there is like less than 100 euros before you add the hat. That's a Bailey hat. And that hat's like nearly 200 euros. And then I don't know what the boots were, nearly 200 euros or something like that. I think Again, I would give it like a 5 or a 6. Next is once again, a 3-piece. This 3-piece and the shirt, because you can tell by that shitty, minuscule collar that it is a cheap shirt. This suit and shirt, I'm pretty sure the tie and pockets were also. Everything you can see in this, apart from the watch, is from Primark/pennies, which means it cost pennies. Again, I think the overall kind of idea of the outfit was fine. It's a pretty standard navy 3-piece with a blue shirt and a tie. Very corporate looking, almost, minus the tattoos, obviously. I think I'm doing the basics right. Like, the bottom button of the waistcoat is open. You can't see any shirt on the bottom because the trousers have, pull up. I think I'm being really picky here. I'm gonna really pull this apart now. Sleeve length is too long. Again, you can see it bunched up. There's a reason why my arms are posed in that way. It's to show off short cuff and give the illusion of the jacket fitting me better than it actually did. Far too much fabric up the sleeve. The shoulder is absolutely abysmal. Both of them are bellowing, puckering. They're like dunes. The short collar is too short. So the short collar should extend beyond the closure of the jacket or the waistcoat. So there should be no gap. That gap between where the jacket and the waistcoat end and where the short collar begins should be non-existent. Tie knot, I absolutely despise full Windsor knots. Because it's a big fat full Windsor knot, it's actually making the small collar look even smaller. What I will give the tie knot though is that dimple is absolutely majestic. I'll give this outfit, the pocket squares throwing me way off as well, I'll give this outfit like a 3. Next, again, we have a 3-piece. We've seen this jacket before and we've seen this waistcoat trouser combination before. So as you can see, I'm really separating up my wardrobe to give the illusion of more clothing than I actually own. And that's something that I still do today. So you can have less clothes but make multiple combinations with them. This so far is my least favorite outfit. Although I did fix certain things, but got other things wrong. Again, if I was to execute this now today, the trousers would be definitely wider. Why I'm wearing boots with this outfit remains to be seen. Absolutely shocking. Shirt is actually a pin collar. If you look very closely, you can see two holes for a pin in there. And because I've not pinned it and it's falling away, it's creating that gap that I just mentioned in the last photo. But if I had pinned it, the gap doesn't matter because you're never really going to close the jacket and the waistcoat enough to clear that gap when the collar is pinned. I'm going to give this a 2 because the boots are horrendous. The same outfit, it's just a clearer image. We can't see the boots, and because we can't see the boots, it looks better. And again, should have pinned the collar and should have worn a different color tie. Next up was a Valentine's Day post, and although you can't really see the outfit, it definitely deserves nitpicking. I think the hat is good, and although those glasses are prescription, I should have taken the glasses off to just allow the hat to be. And that jacket is also from Primark, but it was with their Harris Tweed collection. So again, this shows kind of like my naivety and lack of education at the time. I knew Harris Tweed was like a really famous tweed, and I knew it was a famous mill. So I just wanted a Harris Tweed jacket and ignored the fact that it didn't fit me. Again, you can really see the shoulders bellowing. Those lapels are just truly awful. Minus points for the collar gap. Minus points for the tie going off to the side. Minus points for the shoulder not fitting well at all. There's a lot kind of not working here. I'm going to give this a 2. This outfit and this photo in particular, so this photo is actually fake. So this is a composite. I took that landscape photo up in the Dublin mountains and there was nothing in the background. That road just led into the distance. And the photo of me was actually just taken in my bedroom, like some of those previous photos on the white wall. This is a 3-button, very, very old school classic boxy cut on the suit. It was from a company called Garrison Tailors, and they reached out to me when the show Peaky Blinders first launched, and they launched a clothing company off of the back of the show. And because I dressed the way I dressed, they reached out to me to promote the clothing brand. And this was one of the photos that I shot for it. I think the photo's good. I think this is what I mean about the club collar on the shirt, where it's way narrower in the collar opening, and it's really more emphasized on the rounding. This photo done fucking bits when I posted it, but I'm gonna zoom in and show you how my hand is down by my side. You can see where I forgot to mask that little bit out. And yeah, I'll give this outfit like a 5 or a 6. It's definitely not something that I would wear today, not that cut anyway. This is an image of that grey 3-piece, so the waistcoat and the trousers that you've now seen multiple times, that you've seen me wear the fucking shit out of. This is an image of all 3 of those pieces together. I would have went for a wider trouser, probably slightly longer if I was to redo it now. The waistcoat I would probably shorten a little bit, it's a little too long. The pocket square and tie combination is god awful. Although this was a made to measure suit, the shoulders of this jacket are terrible. Across here, this from collar to shoulder point is actually not bad. The issue is it's measured too long, and that's why you're getting that collapsing under here where the sleeve meets the shoulder. I'm going to give negative points for the tie and pocket square combination. It really, really pulls this outfit down. I'm going to give it like a 4. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack on this. Okay, those brown tan shoes deserved to be burned alive. Awful, just truly awful. The trousers are too short. The crotch on the trousers is measured incorrectly, so there's too much fabric there because the crotch and the rise is measured wrong, and that's where you're getting all that excess fabric, and it looks like a lady's personality. Wearing the knitwear underneath, not sure that really works. I can see what I was trying to do, as it's like grey on grey and it's tonal. There's a grey pocket square in there which is grey paisley, and the lining of this jacket was grey paisley, so I could see what I was doing there. That purple and pink paisley tie, whoever let me put that around my neck and knot it deserves a slap. The knot and the dimple are an A+, but the tie itself is truly awful. The jacket over the shoulders, and the hat being a trilby and not a fedora. This outfit is like the epitome of try hard. The big watch, the stack of bracelets, the bold tie, the layering not really done well, the jacket draped over the shoulders, the hat which doesn't match my head, my face shape, my head shape, my proportions at all. This is a negative 2. There's not a single aspect of this outfit that I like, not one. Awful. So this is my new least favorite. So this is the full 3-piece of that grey suit, which you've seen now in multiple posts in the last one and now this one, but you're seeing it as a 3-piece. So this waistcoat I originally requested to be made in a double-breasted with a shawl collar, and they accidentally made a horseshoe style waistcoat, which is typically worn with black tie, so when the jacket is closed you can't actually see the waistcoat, but the waistcoat kind of acts like a cummerbund, so you can't see the waistband of the trousers. So just overall the waistcoat just truly awful. Again, the short collar is so bad, it's so wide, so spread. I'm not even sure the actual top button of that is open. That is a knitted tie, and the knot is just huge. I can't, like, I'm pretty sure I never wore a knitted tie after this because I hated how it knotted, and I just hated how it looked. I hate how much real estate there is between the collar and the waistcoat. To combat that, I should have worn the jacket closed. And you can really see what I mean about the excess fabric in the crotch of these trousers, because it was measured incorrectly and it looking somewhat like a lady's personality. Yeah, terrible. -10. All around, just really bad. This is a -1, straight up. Again, this is like the equivalent to someone like just trying hard. I was invited to London Fashion Week by Canon, and I think this is my first ever press trip. It's the first time a brand ever brought me to a different country. This is a tweed. I use that term very loosely because it's a polyester suit that's made to look like tweed, and it was from Topman, and my dad helped me like do like the hem of the trousers and stuff. We've seen that waistcoat a few times now at this point. I'm wearing a belt with a 3-piece, which is a huge faux pas. The waistcoat and the trousers should like fit seamlessly, and there should be a belt will generally make the bottom of the waistcoat kind of buckle out a little bit. So a belt with a 3-piece is a faux pas. That's a knitted tie. If I'd went with I think I like the color of the tie, but if it was silk, you would have got a nicer knot within that narrow shirt collar. Again, the color of those boots, I could see what I was trying to do. I think this is very like David Gandy inspired, and the color of the boots is just too bright for the rest of the outfit. And again, the trilby should have been a fedora, should have been a wider brim, but yeah, not great. This outfit, I think this outfit traumatized me to the point that where I don't wear bow ties with anything other than a tuxedo, because this is just truly awful. So this jacket I think I bought in Paris, and fuck knows why. Like the body being almost like tartan, like a check, multiple colors going through it, blue being the prominent color. Black lapels, notch, mind you. You can see the facing on the pockets is also black to match the lapels, and the sleeves don't match the body. Just everything about that jacket is truly an abomination. Those trousers are also an abomination. Just how cheap they look. You guys are so blessed that we have brands like Zara are more affordable now, and we have like Uniqlo, so you don't have to buy this garbage. Like that trouser waistcoat combination, I'm almost certain that they're not even a direct match. They're not off the same suit, and this whole thing looks completely disjointed. And then those velvet tassel loafers with the palest of white feet peeking out underneath them, and then getting to the bright orange bow tie and the sunglasses and the terrible haircut and terrible hairline. -10. I want to kill myself looking at this photo. It's fucking awful. This actually pisses me off. When people give me hate comments today, I'd have given this guy hate comments. This fucking photo. Again, these are the boots that you saw at the London press trip thing, and I'm wearing like skinny jeans, a fake Hermes belt, a navy cardigan which is buttoned up God knows what way, and a really cheap trench coat. I'm going to call it a trench coat. It's made out of polyester. It would probably melt in the rain versus actually keep you dry. The shirt collapsing, the pose, the skinny jeans, the everything about this is like -8. Just bad all around. This is contender for one of the worst. So this is me and my friend Nadia. We're still friends to this day. Nadia is wonderful. She's engaged to a wonderful guy. Her soon-to-be husband's a pilot. She was an air hostess. They're great. She's great. She was invited to the races and brought me as her +1. Every single thing about this outfit is worse than the next. Short collar, awful. The fucking size of that tie knot is is truly abysmal. It's almost as big as my fucking head. The jacket doesn't fit. I'm puckering up the sleeves at the elbow to try make it fit a bit better, but it still doesn't fit. I think I'm actually cupping the end of the jacket with my hand because it's also too long. The trousers are obnoxiously skinny and low rise to the point that you can actually see my shirt peeking out at the bottom of that waistcoat. That waistcoat is also an abomination to tailoring. Fuck knows what I was thinking with the pocket watch chain thing that should have been tucked further into the pocket, and then the attachment on the button below it. And then I actually think they're my dad's dress shoes. Just awful. A+ for effort. F for execution. That's a -20. That's awful. Told you these would get worse as we went on. And finally, last but not least, we have this. I'm wearing a pocket square in the pocket of a polo t-shirt. I can't believe I'm putting these fucking photos out onto the internet. But they were once on the internet. I once posted these thinking they were fucking great. The hair is bad. The hair is very bad. The pose is the worst thing in the whole thing. The arm up behind the head, just bad. Just bad. But the polka dot polo, I actually don't mind if I didn't put a fucking pocket square into the breast pocket of a t-shirt. Yeah. It's bad. But we all start somewhere, don't we? Like, if you had told any of those versions of Damien, if you had told any of them that he frequently attends Pitti Uomo twice a year, that people like Roberto, Massimo, Fabio are his friends, that Maharanic, W.M. Brown, Fox Brothers, Douglas, they're his friends. He joins them for dinner. He gets to work with bespoke shoemakers, bespoke shirt makers, bespoke tailors from all over the world. That every suit in his wardrobe in there is custom made. That he would have over 3 million followers across social media. If you had told any of that to any of those versions of Damien, they'd have probably straight up laughed in your face and told you to get off the hard drugs. But it just goes to show you, if you're passionate about something and you're not afraid to put yourself out there and you're not afraid to kind of be yourself, even if the execution is bad, you learn. Pay attention to those, the way I tried to replicate outfits from like Roberto or David Gandy, like I mentioned. Yes, the execution of a lot of those were very poor, but I didn't have the means and I didn't have the knowledge or somewhat the access at the time to fix those mistakes. But what was important is that I was doing it. What was important, that I was putting myself out there and dressing the way I wanted to dress. And I still have people from back home in Ireland that say to me now, they say things like they have a lot of respect for me growing the audience that I've grown, because I never really deviated away from my style. I've been attempting to kind of hone that classic menswear style for almost 20 years. I'm 34. So I've been doing it since I was a child, you know? So someone asked on Instagram yesterday, how do you learn this stuff? And I said, self-awareness, self-reflection, self-critique, knowledge and experience. And you get the knowledge from all the other things. And most importantly, which I find bizarre now, because most importantly out of all of those things, I never once commented on Roberto's post saying, oh, why those socks, or oh, why that tie, or those trousers are too baggy, or those trousers are too slim. I never once commented on Fabio's content of the same sort of vein, questioning his choices or criticizing his choices. Instead, I try to understand why he made those choices, because I always looked at those guys as someone who knew way more than me, and they do. Fabio has 2 books on bespoke tailoring. Roberto is a bespoke tailor. They know more than I do, so who am I to question them? And it's something that I find so bizarre now, that when I wear an outfit, or when other fashion creators wear outfits, like just yesterday's post on Instagram, somebody said white socks, and I'm like, well, yes, because I'm wearing white trousers. If you want to learn, do less of this and more of this and more of this. Listen and pay attention, and instead of asking them why, ask yourself why. Try to figure out why they're making those choices, because their choices are coming from a place of greater knowledge and greater experience than you have. And that's not to say that me or any other fashion creator or Roberto or Fabio or anybody else knows better. It's not about knowing better. They are also constantly learning and constantly growing and paying attention to those around them. But they never criticize, ever. They observe, they absorb, and ask themselves the question, why? Why that? Why that? It's okay if you're asking that question to learn. 99.9% of the time, they're not asking that question to learn, they're asking that question to be critical. If you're asking the question to be critical, ask yourself the question and try learn why. And if you can't figure out why, then comment, hey, I'm not trying to be a hater, I'm actually genuinely curious what the thought process was behind the sock color, or the tie choice, or that knot choice, or why you're not wearing a belt. Genuinely ask the question and you'll genuinely get a response, because the menswear space is all about education and all about inclusiveness and all about raising each other up. So when you ask us a genuine question from a genuine place of curiosity, from a genuine place of wanting to learn about the thing that we're so passionate about, we're more than happy to answer it. And on that note, I'll see you Friday.